All right, welcome to Living the Dream, Living Well Now workshop, exploring the beginnings of what it might mean to create an amazing fortune via this amazing company, Young Living. Anyway, I'm Aaron, and I'm excited to introduce these three beautiful women who are really leading the way for the Living Well Now team. And so, first off, Deb is just pretty insanely amazing. Whenever I call her up and say, hey, what should I do with this? She's like, well, she'll give me the four steps to make it all happen with regard to the business. And she does that for everybody. And that's what, I mean, she's ready and willing at all times. And that is super inspiring to me. I've definitely learned how to, I'm still learning from her, how to be the best customer service supporter that I can be for my team. Angie, I've got down here as just a joyful energizer because, you know, whether it's a 15-hour day from working at the public school and then on to being a parent and then on to Essential Oils business at the end, you know, the last 2.5 hours in the evening, she is just going and wants this and is so excited and passionate about creating wellness and spreading health. And then last is Andrea, my sister-in-law, and what I wrote down for her is she inspires belief in, I think, anybody she talks to. Like the second that you're hesitating on, ooh, can I do it? She just is like, yep, and here's how you can. Yes, you will, and here's how you can. You know, it's like just a constant steps ready to offer. So super grateful and excited to learn with all of you tonight and living the dream with these three.
Thank you, Aaron Lehman. We are excited to be here tonight, and living the dream is absolutely an awesome phrase for us to even put up on our mirrors and have in front of us every day. How many of you know that we have a big event coming to Arizona really soon? It's called the Super Bowl. Yeah? And the halftime show is, anybody know? Katy Perry. And she was quoted in the newspaper this week, and my husband said, hey, you might want to use this for your class. And it's appropriate. The question was asked of her, what does it mean to you to play the Super Bowl? It means I've outdreamt my dream, and I'm in the best way scared of all of the things I have manifested in my life. But I know that I would say so much of it is because of the hard work that I apply in my life. When I was 9 and I had this dream of being who I am now, I would have never ever thought in a million years that it would take this much hard work and dedication and real intense focus. But getting to the top is one thing. And it seems like in this day and age with the internet, you put up the right picture, you say the right thing, you get one song on your SoundCloud, and all of a sudden, you're famous. Or you're successful. But it's not about that. It's about staying at that level. And when you get to the top, it's even 100 times harder to stay there. So I always want to check in with myself and make sure that I am being authentic in my music and my message and the lyrics, that I'm remembering why music was so important to me when I was young, because it was the friend that understood me. It was speaking the language that I needed to hear for whatever situation I was going through. It made me feel not so alone, and that's the kind of music I want to write. I want to connect with people. Tonight, we are dreaming together. We're living the dream, and we're continuing to dream big.
Dream big. This is my favorite part because, well, I think as adults, and as I look around, we all look like we have one dreamer, for sure, dreamer in the room. I like to talk about my son. He's 5, and when you're little, you are a dreamer, right? There are no holds bar on your dreams. So my son, at the moment when he is older, he's going to be a sticker salesman, because he loves stickers, and he's very convinced that that's going to work out for him, stickers. And he, if he gets tired of being a sticker salesman, he is going to be a Ninjago roller coaster designer. And you only know what Ninjago is if you have boys that are like in the 4 to 8 year range. Yeah, everybody's looking at me like, what are you talking about, Ninjago? Anyway, so he dreams. He dreams. He doesn't put any limits on what he's going to do. But somewhere along the way, we kind of stop dreaming. We might get into a little rut. We're in our normal 9 to 5 job. And maybe it's that we don't feel like we have time to dream, or it just doesn't seem realistic to dream. But it's amazing when you start dreaming. It was 2.5 years ago when we went, about 2.5 years ago, when we went to convention, and I decided I'll go into one of the business classes. And we kind of thought we were doing the business, but now when we look back on it, it was a hobby. We didn't have any goals. We didn't do any dreaming. We didn't have any regularly scheduled time that we were doing anything. And to be honest, I really didn't think that it could turn into anything. I didn't believe that it was going anywhere. Well, I was going into my 10th year teaching. I was an English teacher, and I was getting really sick of spending my weekends grading essays all weekend long. And also, we were getting cuts every year. So I'm 10 years in my master's degree, and I'm getting less and less pay every year. And I kept thinking, there has to be something, I loved the kids, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I didn't hate going to my job, but I thought, am I really going to do this for 20 more years of my life? And so went to convention, went to this business class, and I walked out of that business class. My mom was on the trip with me, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, everybody was on this trip with me, and I said to them all, this is going to be my last year teaching. I'm going to do this. And so when I got home, I set some pretty lofty goals. I treated it like a business. I gave myself hours, weekly hours. And what I had said was if I can match what I was taking home, and at the time I was home with my kids in the morning, so I was only working 2/3 time. I didn't have a huge amount to make up, but I said if I can make that up by the end of the school year, I'm not going back. So I committed to that. Felt scary. And I just worked. I worked on building this business in the afternoons and in the evenings. And I'll tell you, it was a lot of work because I had a 6-month-old at home and a 3-year-old at the time. And I was teaching and I was building a business. But I kept remembering, what is the phrase we kept repeating to ourselves? Entrepreneurs are people who are willing to spend a couple years of their lives like nobody will, so they can spend the rest of their lives like nobody can. And I kept repeating that to myself and kept repeating it on my long days. I kept repeating it. It's a short time to bring what I really want. And so the dreaming came in that it was hard for me to even think about being able to stay home with my kids like full time, like the idea of that, or to be able to be like a classroom mom and go in whenever I wanted to. That was huge dreaming to me. So that was my dream at the time. I just want to make up my 2/3 teaching income so I can be at home and so I can be more present in my kids' life. I can be in the classroom with them, all that kind of stuff. And so that was my vision. That was my vision then. And I was able at the end of the school year, by March, I had met my 2/3 take-home pay, and I told my administration that I wasn't coming back, and I was very resolute when I went in to do that. And then about a week later, it's the end that like, oh my gosh, I just quit my job that I went to school for 6 years for to grow my own living business. And so I started having some pretty good anxiety for a couple of weeks. Anyway, I quit, and now we are 2.5 years after I began really treating it like a business, and my full-time gross teacher's pay I have tripled in about half of the hours, maybe a little bit more than half of the hours that I spent, including weekend time teaching. So am I glad that I made that sacrifice for a little bit? Absolutely. Am I glad that I dreamed and I created a vision for how I wanted my life to be? Absolutely. And has my vision grown bigger? Absolutely. So I would just encourage you guys that are here. Some of you are already growing a business. Some of you are just thinking about it. Some of you haven't even tried the oils yet, maybe. But I would encourage you to get started on that right away, and then to just do some dreaming. I'm going to ask you for just a minute, and you don't have to share out loud unless you want to. I'd love to hear some. But if your life could be different 4 years from now, and there weren't any parameters, you weren't restrained by time, spent at work, or money, how would your life be different in 4 years? I'm just going to give you a minute just to think and dream for a second, because you probably haven't done that for a while. Okay, is there anybody, and I know a few of you in here are already growing a business, so I know you already have visions. Is there anybody that would be willing to share what your vision is for 4 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? And we have a microphone. It's fun to hear other people's dreams.
Sure. So, because I, too, after many years of school, have thousands of dollars of debt, I never thought that I could pay for my kids' college. And in 4 years, I cannot believe it, I will have a child that will be entering college. And I have to consider that. So in 4 years, I am hoping that I can pay for my children's college, as I have another one entering right after, and that they will not be strapped with the debt that I am starting off in life.
I'm actually doing this with my friend Christy. We're in it together. And kind of our goal is that for 4 years from now, we want to be able to, be at home with our families. And I want to bring my kids into it and make it a multi-generational thing. But one of the big things that we want to be able to do is set up a scholarship fund for people who want oils and can't afford them. Because I know so many people that it's oh my God, if I could just get them in your hands, you'd benefit so greatly. And so be able to put the money back into making sure that people who need access to it can access it even when it's not financially feasible for them.
So fun. Thank you for sharing.
I think so often we allow our income to dictate our dreams, and I think one of the biggest things I've learned now with Young Living is that I need to expand that thought and not let that contain my dream. And so for me, it's uncomfortable to dream that big. So for me, number one is to pay debt and student loans, things like that, but ultimately to be able to retire my husband and be able to travel abroad during summers and allow my children that opportunity to see other cultures and live in other cultures. And I mean, really, it just continues to grow on a daily basis. It continues to shift and change, but right now that's kind of where I'm at.
First, I am going to this will be my last semester teaching my part-time job. And then after that, my husband will just have 1 more year being a principal, and he will be able to retire. And then once those two things happen, I want to build water wells in Africa so that they can have clean, safe drinking water. And those are $10,000 a pop.
You're going to do 100 of them, right?
At least.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, guys. Isn't it fun to hear other people's dreams and where they're going? It's inspiring, isn't it? Gets you thinking about yourself. So I would just continue. I would encourage you, as you continue to consider Young Living as a business, to continue dreaming.
One of the things that we like to talk about is, what is your why? Is it to travel? Is it to eliminate debt? Is it to fulfill a need? Dream it, build it, live it. So living it every day. Why do we talk about network marketing as an option? Low startup cost. Wow. Do you know when I created an account, it was $150. That's what it still is. Young Living believes in getting people started with a low startup cost. Even though inflation has happened over many, many times, it's still $150 for a premium starter kit. Huge tax benefits of a home-based business. Also, you get to choose who you want to work with. Wow, I get to work with family. How fun for me. Who do you want to work with? You get to decide. So when you're talking to people about Young Living, talk to your people you want to be in business with. Who do you want to hang out with on a regular basis? That's the fun part. Also, you get to be your own boss. That's a good thing. You are in charge. Flexibility of time, flexibility of your schedule. Now, if you're like me, you kind of have to set the timer to say, all right, Deb, time to go play. But you get to choose. Also, the travel opportunities are incredible and amazing. Because you have flexible time, being your own boss, you can figure out when you want to go where. No inventory. This is the most awesome. Young Living takes care of all of that. You create your account. You support other people to create accounts. Young Living takes care of the rest. That's the fun part. We don't need to, unless you choose, you do not need to sell products retail. That's an option for you if you choose. What we do is we share and help people create accounts and yet let Young Living do the hard work. And I also said ability to leverage our time, and that is huge, huge. And there are many, many other benefits, but those are a few reasons why to consider network marketing. And I also like to say network to me means relationship building. You're networking with people. It's a people-to-people business, and that's what makes it very exciting. So why consider Young Living as a business opportunity? There are a lot of companies out there. Why are you considering Young Living? Why did I consider Young Living? Well, big piece is you have to be passionate about the product that you are recommending to other people. We say there are 7 reasons to consider Young Living as a business opportunity. One is health and fitness is trendy. I'm so glad, even in the active adult community that I live in, it's trendy to go work out. It's trendy to play tennis. So that's the exciting part, is people want to know more about being wealthy and healthy all at the same time. So we've got that. Also, Young Living is the industry leader, worldwide leader in essential oils. How awesome. They have been around 20 years, and we feel just so glad that they have this amazing connection with integrity and purity and potency of the oils. Absolutely feel so blessed by the outstanding customer service they provide with their products. Next, you want to find your niche. What's a niche that the people that you want to draw into Young Living? Are you a young mom and you want to draw in people that have kids your age, your kids' ages? You decide. Are you a single mom or a single dad and you want to pull in that group? Are you a health and fitness guru and you want to pull them into your yoga classes or your rock climbing classes? Then that's an option for you, that you can be successful with this as a business. You can have wellness, purpose, and abundance. And so that's a niche that I'm loving now, is to support people to dream dreams and that they can make a lot of money if they choose. Also, our products enrich the lives of others, and we've seen that as our team is growing. In fact, I looked a couple of weeks ago when we started 2015, our team has quadrupled in 1 year's time of people joining our team and wanting to share more and more information. So for me, it's people seeing the value of the products that Young Living provides. And last but not least, a generous compensation plan. It's one of the best in the network marketing industry. We feel so blessed to be able to share that, and we'll touch on that tonight, all the different ways that you can earn commission with Young Living.
How many of you came to learn how to make money at this? Okay. How many of you are already currently using the oils? Okay. How many of you love them? Okay. How many of you have already started verbally vomiting on people about the oils? Okay, good. So you will want to come to our 6-week training to learn the how to do this. This talk is more about why it's a no-brainer to start a Young Living business. But these are the 5 questions that people typically want to know when they're learning about Young Living as a business. Number 1, how does this business work? You use the product, you recommend the product, and you invite people to set up an account. Okay, so you use, you recommend, and you invite. Okay, so go ahead and say it with me. Use, recommend, and invite. And some of you are already doing that, and so some of you already have an accidental business because you may have gotten a check already in the mail and thought, well, how did that happen? I just met with somebody last week, and she had created an account in November. She helped her friend create an account in December, and when we met up to go over her friend's kit, and I told her, now you're going to be getting your $50 check from this. She said, what? And I said, yeah, you're getting a check because you helped Stacy create an account. She said, I am? So a lot of people in this business do start off with an accidental business because they just love the oils so much and they can't help but sharing. So how do you do this business? You use, you recommend, and you invite people to set up an account. Now, how do you get paid in this business? Okay, so it's a lot of circles, I know. What's beautiful about this business, and I like to use my parents' traditional business as an example to show the change or the difference. My parents have owned a pool and spa store since I was born, basically. And I remember it was about a year ago, and it was about a year into really focusing on growing this business. And they said, hey, Mom, what do you think my group volume was this month compared to last year this month? And so in her traditional business mindset, she's thinking, okay, so it's November. She said, well, what was it last year? And so I told her. And so she went up, like 5% or so, because she thought that would be good growth from year to year. And I said, no. And so she goes up a little bit more. I said, no. A little bit more, no. And it ended up being like, a 400% increase over the past year. She's like, how did that happen? She was marveled. But that's the really neat thing about network marketing, is that it is not a traditional business model. So I'm going to show you just kind of an example of how this works. So let's say that in your first year building your business, and this is going to be really neat, and nothing is ever this neat, but this is just, for demonstration's sake. So let's say in your first year in business, this is you. You're going to have some customers along the way who always end up creating wholesale accounts, but they're not going to be interested in the business. So you have some customers. But let's say in the first year, all you're doing is looking for 5 people in your life who also are wanting to build a business. And so you're going to be supporting them. So let's say you have 5 people in your first year who are growing a business with you. And they are each doing their $100 of essential rewards. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But they're each doing 100 ER. Off of your first level, you would get $40 a month. Isn't that exciting? Your first year, $40 a month. Woohoo! And so this is exactly why, and you'll make more than this, but this is just off of one part of the comp plan, but this is exactly why people in their first year in a business like this quit. And the majority do quit because this is a business that grows over time and grows exponentially over time. So let's say in your second year, and obviously this can happen in the first month where this person helps somebody create an account, right? But once again, we're just doing this for neatness sake. So let's say that this person helps 5 people, and this person helps 5 people, and you get the picture all the way across. Each of them are helping 5 people who want to grow their own business. In your second level, you would get $125. Okay? So in the second year, you're making $165 on this commission payout. Once again, not very compelling, is it? Okay? You're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and you're getting $165. Okay, so if you take it down one more level, and I'm going to stop drawing circles because that's way too many. You can see it up here. In your third level, if you take it down one more level, you are going to, somebody help me out with this, 500, I forgot my book, 500. Okay, so for a total of $665. Now you're getting into, a partial house payment, car payments, insurance, those types of things, groceries. Paying for your oils. Okay, so let's see what happens when you take it a fourth level down. So one more level across. In your fourth level, $2,500 for a total of $3,165. Okay, now we're talking, right? One more level down, fifth level, $12,500 for a total of $15,000 or $16,000, something like that. Anybody okay with that? Per month? Per month? Okay. So, as you can see, this is a business that, you guys heard that grows over time. And so it's the people that stick with it and decide that they are going to do it that are successful. There's no magic to it. It's just sticking with it. Okay, so this is another bonus, and this is where people in the beginning stages of growing their business, where you're going to make the most money, where the bulk of your check is going to come from. So let's say that this is you, okay, 50 PV, and you are verbally vomiting. No, I'm just kidding. You're sharing with somebody out of your excitement about the oils, and this is Sally that you're sharing with, and Sally gets excited and she creates an account. And so the premium starter kit is $150, but the PV, or the point value on it, is $100. So you are going to get, off of this $100, you are going to get $25, that's a kit bonus, and you're also going to get 25%. So that's where we get that $50 number when you help somebody to create an account. In the first 3 months that Sally is a member, you're going to get 25% anytime that she orders. Okay, that's a first level person. Now, Sally's excited. She's using the oils and she's loving them. And so she helps Bill to create an account. When Bill creates an account, that's your second level. And you're going to get 10% for Bill's first 3 months that he is a member. So you're going to get $10 off of that premium starter kit. This is the whole compensation plan. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on this tonight. We talked a little bit. This was a visual of kind of how uni-level commissions work. And we talked about fast start bonus. There are other parts to the compensation plan, and I would encourage you to go onto your member resources area on Young Living and it's on the back of that sheet as well. You have that. But there's actually some things you can watch on Young Living to get more of an understanding of how the compensation plan works. And you can also go onto YouTube and type in Young Living compensation plan, and tons of people who are sharing it will help you to understand it more. One thing to note, if you are doing this as a business, to get those fast start bonuses, the $50 off of helping somebody to create an account, you need to be spending 50 PV a month. Now, as you get a little bit further, and we always recommend, if you're deciding you're going to do it as a business, spend 100, okay, because that's how you get paid in all of the ways. And $100 a month is a very, very low investment into a business that can turn into $1 million business. So we say, spend 100 PV on Essential Rewards every month. You'll get the full payout when you're doing that. And that $100 is a tax write-off because it is a business expense. So Essential Rewards, for those that do not understand Essential Rewards, that is their monthly ordering program. You can order anything that you want to within that Essential Rewards program. So your order can be different every single month. With that, you get 10% back the first 6 months. You get 15% the second 6 months. And after a year, you get 20%. That all goes into an account to use on free product. You also get reduced shipping with that, and you get priority. If things are running out of stock, they're going to fill the Essential Rewards orders before regular orders. So it's definitely a program you want to be a part of.
First, I want to draw your attention to the income disclosure form that we handed out on the back side of the compensation plan, or on the front side, depending on how you look at things. I don't know which end was up tonight. This is a public document that you can actually find online really, really easily. Young Living published this last year, and it's the 2013 income disclosure. One of the first things to notice is that out of all of the people, I'm not going to have my statistics exactly right, but out of all of the people who use our products, only 8% of our active members are ranked as star or above. So we have 92%, it might be a little lower this year, but we have 92% of people in 2013 that just are product users. They just love the products that they're getting, the benefits that they're seeing. They've seen the value in helping their own health, their family's health, and their neighbor's health, and everybody that they want to help. They've been sharing that, but only 8% are actually ranked on the compensation plan as star or above. So I think that's pretty significant to note first right away. The other thing I'll point out to you is that we always like to show, people say, well, I've got a full-time job. How am I going to fit this in with everything else that I've got going on? I have a full-time job, I have a family, I have free time. What do I do? And one of the greatest visuals that I was taught was to think about your 24-hour day in 3 8-hour segments. You sleep 8 hours a day. Maybe. Some of you probably don't sleep quite 8 hours a day. You work about 8 hours a day. That gives you 8 hours a day, every day, to choose what you do with your time. Now, we understand that there are family commitments, that there are personal goals that you have, there are other things that take your time, but 8 hours is a lot of time to be able to spread out throughout all of those different things. Even commutes to work can become really fun and exciting as you're building your business, because you turn your car into a rolling university by listening to CDs and webcasts and things like that, that you can be learning more about this business and growing yourself as an entrepreneur by maximizing those times. I was joking with my other brother tonight when I saw him for a couple of minutes that I've been listening to Jim Rohn on my runs, and that's not really inspiring music, and it doesn't really pump me up for my actual physical activity. And it's a good thing I'm not very competitive, because I'm not going very fast. However, my business is growing quickly, and I think it's because of the time and energy that I'm spending in those off hours that are about personal development. And so just to note there that if you want to, they averaged the hours worked per week, star at 5 hours per week, senior star at 7 hours per week, not per day, but per week, executive at 11 hours per week. You can start to see the realistic opportunity that you have to put a part-time business together through this Young Living compensation plan. One thing I'll note, and we usually will just quickly tell you that at senior star level, that's typically the place where you start to pay for your own product. So if you are somebody who is spending a lot of money on product every month, or you are somebody who doesn't see how you can fit it into your family's spending plan, Senior Star is a great first goal for you. That's our first step, is to help you pay for your product. The second step then is to move to executive level, and that gives you about an extra $500 per month. And executive level, kind of like Andrea was sharing over here when she was drawing circles, that changes things. That's a car payment, that's insurance, that's probably some student loan debt repayment options, and that shifts your family. At silver level then, I want you to think about, just realistically, because earlier we were dreaming the big, big dreams, but realistically, what would an extra $1,000 do for your family? An extra $1,000 a month. What could that do for your family? And just ponder that for a minute. For me, it shifted everything. See, I'm a single mom. And 2 years ago, when Andrea came back from this business class and said we all needed to go hear it and we needed to find out about it, I was skeptical. I was working 80% time for a school district that I love. The job was great. The hours were fine. And I liked the kids that I was working with. So I was okay being there. But I was also realizing that I didn't want to just stretch my income to provide for my kids. I wanted to be a different model. I wanted to show my kids, beyond stretching, how to reach for the stars. And so part of my journey and part of my story over these last couple of years has been a lot of tenacity, a lot of perseverance, a lot of late nights, and not a lot of sleep. And I don't recommend that for health reasons. But it's been about passion, and it's been about following my dream of providing beyond what I could do for my family as a married person, as a single mom. And I've reached that. And I'm thrilled with that outcome. And that's been important to me as I've been raising them on organic food and not having to scrimp and save about activities that they want to be involved in, and being able to give them trips and opportunities to see things around the world. That's part of my story. The rest of it is still being written because I've been working this 80% time job for the last 5 years, and I'm getting ready to say goodbye. And that's going to be a big step. But it also means that my time is going to be better spent in part-time hours working on my fortune rather than full-time hours just working at my job. That will provide opportunity for me to spend time with my kids on a more regular basis. They're excited because they want me to volunteer in their classrooms, and they're going to be in 6th grade and 4th grade. Like, they still want me to come. Awesome. So I'll still get to be with kids. I'll still get to be with my children. We'll still get to have activities and events and, prioritize all of those things together. But beyond that, there's so much that we are looking forward to in these next several years. In fact, I'm getting ready to purchase a car in the next 6 months, and I realized that this car is probably going to be the one my daughter will learn to drive on. So I'm feeling a little pressure about that because I'm not ready for that, but I'm thinking about it, just not ready for it yet. But time goes so quickly, and I don't want any more time to pass that isn't about me and my kids and about what we can do together and how we embrace this life and reach for the stars. So maybe that's part of your story, and maybe that's why I haven't had a lot of free time over the last couple of years, because I've really chosen to use those 8 hours a day very constructively on not only building my business with income-producing activity, but also with personal development. And so I encourage each of you who are here tonight and maybe hearing my story for the first time and it's similar to yours, or it's similar but not the same, that you would just take that into account as you plan for your future and your goals as you're getting started. One of the things that we wanted to do is make our process really simple. We didn't want to complicate this, and we realized early on we had complicated it when we were doing it as a hobby. Nobody wanted to do what we were doing. It was too hard. So we simplified it, and we made it duplicatable. We took steps to duplicate all of our resources so that you can help reach your goals. And that's the other fun part about my position now in supporting my team, is that I get to equip and empower others who are on this journey to do what I've done. And that's exciting to not just be in a place of what I can receive, but how I can help other people achieve their goals as well. So your sponsor has a lot of information about that, but we want more than anything for people to know that we actually have 2 products in Young Living. We have a health product that we've talked a lot about, and a lot of us already find a lot of value in that. But we also have this business product that is changing people's lives, this financial opportunity that's being able to clear the way for the next generation to have a different kind of economy, to live in a place that isn't about scarcity, but truly is about abundance. So what you can expect from our team is that we're going to help you learn how to prepare and use the products, to invite others into the conversation about business or health, to share teaching classes, equip your customers by following up with them, and lead so that you can start to help others reach their goals. So Andrea is going to share one more about just a quick way, if this is your first event or if this is your 15th event, if you are looking to kind of jumpstart your business, we want to teach you 5 quick steps to power start your Young Living business.
Okay, so Anne's just talked about the first one, it's creating an account. And she mentioned it, but talk about low startup cost. If you were going to go open like a McDonald's franchise, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to be able to open that up. And you're going to be in the red for a long time paying that loan back. But with this business, you can get started for $150 and you can make that cost up in the first month that you're in business. So it's sometimes, I think, too low in the fact that people don't take it seriously. They don't realize really what they have in their hands with this business because the starter cost is so low. But $150 gets you started. And then the next thing you want to do is announce your business. If you're a big Facebook person, announce it on Facebook. Make it public. Show the kit that you have. Let people know that you are in business. And I guarantee you, if you announce it on Facebook and you show that kit, people are going to be asking questions. Okay, so announce your business in whatever way that you want to do that. And then make a list of people that you know, okay? And this doesn't mean that you're going to, call each of those people in the first week and tell them about the oils. It's just you're creating a list so that you have posturing. If you create a big list of everybody you know, there's always going to be people to share with and people to talk with. If you put 5 people down on your list and you go through that list and only one of them creates an account, you might feel a little bit defeated. So make a big list. Don't put any parameters on who you're putting down on that list. Put the checkout lady at Trader Joe's that you talk to, on a weekly basis. Put everybody down on that list. And then you can kind of go through that list throughout the year as you're building your business. And then the next thing to do is to get business launch classes going. So we recommend that you get 3 business launch classes going. And with that, whoever is your sponsor, whoever's the person who introduced you to the business, will be the one that's coming to support you. And how we do it is your sponsor will do it, then the 2 of you will do the next class together, and then you would lead the 3rd class and your sponsor would be there just to support. Okay, and we use a script, so it's super easy and duplicable. That's the whole thing, is you want this business to be easy enough for a 6th grader to do it. Simple and duplicable. And then next you would just start talking to people. Start talking and sharing, listening for people's needs, listening for the financial need, listening for the health need, and deciding from there what you're going to share with them.
One of the things that we really recommend for the financial opportunity for people that are considering doing Young Living as a business is this book, The 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss Brooke. And we have you give these to people that you want to be in business with and say, hey, would you take a look? Would you read this? And then next week, let's check in and see what you think. So we have these for sale this evening at the end. They are $4. And it's a great investment. If you haven't read one or you don't have one right now, I encourage you to also read this book. It's a great start to be excited about dreaming your dreams. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause for attending tonight. And have a great rest of the evening.